खबर एक अमानत है, मकामी हो या बैनुल अक़वामी, इसे आप तक पहुंचाने में हम कोशिश हैं। खबरों से बाखबर रहने के लिए चैनल सब्सक्राइब करके देखते रहिए टीवी फॉर यू।
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I have a very important message to convey to the international community's human rights organizations, including the UN Human Rights Council, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and various human rights special rapporteurs, as well as human rights organizations like Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, and a number of other organizations that exist in different states, especially in Western democracies. Pakistan has been undergoing what can only be described as a creeping fascism in the country since April 2022, and it has gotten worse as every day has passed. We have written countless letters drawing attention to the special rapporteurs, to human rights organizations, and the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, as well as the UN Human Rights Council, informing them of these violations. Because we have to remember, Pakistan's constitution guarantees fundamental rights to all its citizens. In addition, Pakistan is a signatory to 7 human rights conventions, and the ones that are very relevant to my message today are the ICCPR, which is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, and the Convention Against Torture. I want to inform that after the Imran Khan government was removed through a regime change conspiracy, there have been acts of abductions, of arrests, of custodial torture, and of a plethora in fact, of sham FIRs registered against the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leadership, including the chairman Imran Khan, who was also the victim of a failed assassination plot in which he has publicly stated he found complicity on the part of the present Prime Minister, the Interior Minister, and one of the senior officers of one of our leading intelligence agencies. I want to draw attention to the fact that the Human Rights Council General Comment 34 on Article 19 stated very categorically the importance of freedom of expression and highlighted that this includes the right to criticize public office holders as well as institutions. In fact, this is seen as protected speech. But the government of Pakistan and the state of Pakistan sadly have been consistently violating Article 19, especially within the context of General Comment 34 of the Human Rights Council. For example, Senator Azam Swati was abducted and subjected to custodial torture. Relevant proofs have been submitted to all the special rapporteurs plus the Human Rights Council, as well as conveyed to Amnesty and Human Rights Watch. He was not just abducted and then subjected to custodial torture. Doctored video was made of him and his wife, and that was then sent to his wife, who is a very private person, and traumatized the family. He was then rearrested again, and we have this strange farce of FIRs being registered across different parts of Pakistan, and then the leadership being arrested and taken from one province to another and subjected to psychological and physical torture while in custody. Our ex-information minister, Chaudhry Fawad Hussain, was also subject to abduction and later charged and with sham FIR again on sedition. In fact, charges of sedition, terrorism, mutiny have become commonplace in trying to target the PTI leadership. In addition to that, the chairman of the party now has 76 FIRs registered against him, including charging him with terrorism and sedition. All this is happening because the party leadership has been criticizing the regime change that took place, criticizing individual members of the state and the establishment, as well as government officials. All this is our right, as Pakistan is a state party to the ICCPR and the Convention Against Torture. And as I said earlier, General Comment 34 sees criticism of public office holders and institutions as protected speech. What I find very surprising is that there is almost no reaction, to very little reaction, to the sort of human rights violations and the violations of our fundamental rights by the government and state of Pakistan from these international organizations. We are surprised that the Human Rights Council has not taken notice and expressed concern at the very least. We are surprised that the new High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, has decided to stay silent on these gross violations to try and silence the voice of the largest opposition party and its leader Imran Khan. We are surprised that Amnesty and Human Rights Watch have suddenly decided to go into silent mode on human rights violations. I am wondering whether the Modi government's actions against Amnesty have frightened Human Rights Watch and Amnesty from saying anything against states and governments in South Asia, despite what they know very well, because everything is documented. There are videos, there are tweets, there's information on social media in abundance. And I also want to point out that since the regime change took place in Pakistan, journalists who have criticized the status quo have also been subjected to abductions, arrests, torture, and even murder. Arshad Sharif, the journalist, was forced to flee the country and was eventually murdered brutally in Kenya. So the fact of the matter is that at the moment, there is no democracy left whatsoever in Pakistan. The largest political party with the largest following in this country at the national level and its leader, Chairman Imran Khan, are continuously being tortured, being subjected to arrest, to sham FIRs, and even assassination. It is time for the international community, if it believes in human rights, to come forward and raise their voice against what the state of Pakistan and the present government of Pakistan is indulging in. And let me point out that just yesterday, that is 8th March, on International Women's Day, ironically, when an election rally had been organized by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf in Lahore, the capital of the Punjab province, because elections are to be held on the 30th of April in that province, and permission had been granted a night before by the government and the police in Punjab. And on early morning, 8th March, we saw hundreds of policemen come with water cannons, with tear gas, and attack especially the women who were preparing to lead the march, because it was International Women's Day, and also our workers. All of our workers have always been unarmed, because it is our tradition in our party where families come and join our rallies and our protests. So never have we had armed workers coming in to our rallies or to our protests. And a reign of terror was unleashed by the Punjab police against our workers. And one of our workers, who was first taken into custody, was later murdered while in police custody. And there are video proofs of that which are available on social media. So even as I record this message, I want to make clear that every day new forms of violations and violence against Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, its leadership, especially its chairman, and journalists who dare to report the truth are being carried out. And finally, let me also point out that there is now, the government has issued directives to all mainstream electronic media channels to black out PTI and especially Imran Khan's speeches from being relayed on television. This again is a clear violation of the ICCPR as well as the Constitution of Pakistan. It is time for the international community that claims it supports human rights, that claims it supports democracy, to raise its voice with the government and state of Pakistan against the attempts they are making to end democracy and to create a fascist state and basically have a form of civilian martial law in Pakistan at present. Thank you.
ब्राहे करम TV4U को लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह निगहबान।